Boston broadcaster Tom Ellis has been on the air in both Boston and New York for more than 4 decades. He began his Boston career at WBZ, did a stint with Chet and Nat at WCVB, and was part of the famous Dream Team at Channel 7.
Oh, boy.
And since 1994, Tom has been doing weekends at NECN, which just ended. And Tom Ellis is here. Welcome. It's so good to see you.
God, Emily,
You look exactly the same.
That you invited me to come. Now, first of all, in the interest of full disclosure, I've got to tell your viewers that you were my boss for 4 years.
Oh, I know. I was
Channel 5.
I was the news. Well, I was assistant news director and then news director.
And I'm so happy that you've invited me to be here today because it gives me a chance to say publicly what a great boss you were.
Well,
you were always
thanks.
cool, calm, and collected. It seemed like the harder the problem got, the cooler you got. You always treated me with a lot of dignity and respect, and I'm so happy that I finally have the chance after all of these years to tell you how much I appreciate it.
Thank you. We still love to tell Tom Ellis stories. We were saying the guys were just saying how great you look and what fabulous shape you're in. You came into the newsroom one day and always came in with a 3-piece suit. Always you came fully dressed and ready to work.
Yep.
Remember those poles we had in the newsroom?
Yeah.
I will never forget this. There's 3 poles, and they were keeping up the roof or something, these big steel poles. Tom grabs one of these steel poles and takes his body and puts his body out straight, horizontal.
Yep.
I mean, the jaws dropped like that. I bet you can still do it.
That's just a trick, just a trick.
Yeah, no. I said he's levitating. That was really amazing.
I've always been a jock. I don't know. I was really into sports when I was a kid. I played everything available in high school, and through football through 2 years of junior college, and I just always liked to stay in shape. I like the feeling of being physically fit.
Well,
it helps you psychologically if you know that you can handle whatever. If you get 3 feet of snow, you can shovel the damn stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's all. I just like to stay in shape. You're in good shape too.
Oh yeah, no, I work out. I stick with it too. Somebody's got to do it, right? All right. So the thing came to an end in December at NECN. Are you sorry about that? I mean, did you?
Well, getting laid off is never pleasant. Yeah. It's the 4th time I've been laid off.
That's a nice way of putting it, I guess.
I'm lucky, though, because I've had such an exceptionally long career. Yeah. And I've been successful. Arlene and I have lived a conservative lifestyle. We're not flamboyant people, and we've managed to put away some security over the years.
Yeah, but that's not it. You like to work.
I've always worked. Yeah. I've never not worked. Yeah. So I'll be doing something. Believe it or not, I'm getting phone calls from people.
Oh, we believe it.
And I'm not going to make a decision until I absolutely decide it's exactly what I want to do, because the next thing I do, I want it to be just like all the other things I've done, which is fun. News work. I just loved going in and communicating with people out there and connecting with viewers. And I miss that, and I miss the camaraderie that you have in a newsroom.
Boy, there's nothing like it. I'm curious what your take is, though, on back in the 80s when you and Chet and Natalie and, Tony Pepper and those guys, I mean, they were the faces of the news divisions. Right. Everybody knew the channel by the people. That's really not true anymore. I mean, neither you or I could name every news anchor team on the air right now, and it would just spill right off your tongue. Why do you think that is? And do you think it's a good thing in a way that that's no longer the...
Well, I think I came through during the golden years for anchor people, and for me it wouldn't be a good thing because I've experienced it the best way possible. I think what happened was... well, you should know better than I because you've been in management. I never have. Yeah. But I think
this is more fun.
I think management decided that rather than have faces as the stars of the newscast, they would like to have formats and news stories and the way they do the news. You understand what I'm saying?
I'm not so sure that it was management as much as the viewers. I mean, Channel 7 was really the one that sort of started it, and that probably was a management-driven thing. And then they found that formula kind of worked.
Yeah, it's gotten so formulaized now, and I still enjoy it. Don't get me wrong. I love, like I say, I love to go sit in front of a live television camera and say, "Hi, folks. Here's the news."
Well, everybody still knows you. They know you stylistically. They know your voice. They know everything about you. But that is just definitely not the case anymore. You tune in for I guess, a style more than
Well,
anything else.
the networks haven't changed that much.
That's true.
Though. See, they still have personalities fronting their newscasts. ABC, CBS, NBC all have people you can name and identify. And Fox News and so forth. I think that's not so important anymore. I don't know how that got lost or why it got lost. But as I say, you probably know better than I. But I had the sense that it was, they didn't want to be so much tied to a personality.
Sure, because it hurt when one of them left, like you did.
At contract time.
You left a few times. And also, I think the finances of it was part of it. I mean, those big salaries, just as you well know, just aren't there anymore.
Not there, no. So I'm so thankful, thank you, God, that I came up through it when I did. Almost from the beginning. I started in 1951 when I was 18 years old in Fort Worth, Texas. I grew up in Texas. And then the Korean War came along, and I went off and served in the Navy for a couple of years. So I did other things after that. I worked in a steel mill. I worked in an automobile assembly plant. The first time I got laid off was at General Motors.
Really?
1955, General Motors had the hottest year they'd ever had. They sold more cars in the history of the company up to that point. 1956 came out and fell flat. And we went from 3 shifts a day, full shift, working 24 hours, to plant shutdown.
The year of the Edsel, wasn't it?
So that's the first time I got laid off. And so I can identify what's happening now to a lot of folks who have suddenly found themselves without a job. And I'm so much luckier than the millions of them who've got homes now that they can't pay for, and families and children that they can't keep in school. What are they going to do? What are we going to do?
You know, before you go, I have to tell another. I'm going to make you tell the story. But you came back from a story one night. You had been sent out in between the 6 and the 11 as the anchors often went out and covered a story. You came in the next morning. You had told some people the story that night, but you told me the next morning about the cup of coffee that was served.
You're going to tell that story?
You are.
Oh, Emily.
You are.
Well, I'll make it short. This nice older lady that I had been sent to interview offered me a cup of coffee, and she brought it out, and I took a big sip of it, and I didn't swallow it because there was something in it. There was a big lump of something in it.
Thought maybe it was sugar, huh?
And when she wasn't looking, I spit that out, and it was a cockroach.
Yeah.
It was a big cockroach, about that big. Now, what do I do with it? I stuck it back in my mouth and swallowed it.
That was Tom Ellis, ladies and gentlemen. Rather than hurt somebody's feelings, rather than hurt the poor woman you've been sent to interview.
Oh, thanks for bringing that story. Oh, thank you.
There were many of that like that. Tom, you were the consummate gentleman and professional. And by the way, on that whole story, I read a whole bunch of stuff on you today, and I was there during the time that Natalie Jacobson was pregnant. And there's all this misinformation. I mean, Chet knew Natalie. There's this story, Tom told it on the air before Chet even knew. That's ridiculous.
I never said anything like that on the air.
I know.
Never. Thank you.
I know.
Thank
I'll
you
back
for
you up
clearing
on
that
that
up for me.
I mean, there was some kidding that went on, but it wasn't like Tom Ellis broke the story of Nat.
Well, it's so good to see you again.
Good to see you.
And you're having good luck with your show
We
here.
are. We're having a good time. I mean, I've been on the air 12 years. That's a lifetime, as you know, in television.
Oh, boy, you bet. Well,
Tom
good
Ellis,
luck.
thanks so much for coming.
Thank you.
All right, that is it for Greater Boston. Tomorrow night, could you do a memoir in 6 words? That's the gimmick behind a new hit book. We'll have that and more tomorrow at 7. I'm Emily Rooney. Good night.